All right, folks, welcome. We're going to go on an aerial tour of the Broadway Newmarket Wastewater Treatment Plant. Very exciting. All right, guys, here we are. You can see the whole shebang from air here. On the left-hand side, you've got a big pond where aeration is beginning and digestion is getting going. The pond to the bottom is just a holding tank. All right, this plant has gone through several renovations, and so some of this infrastructure is left over from prior iterations. All right in front of us, we have the biodigestion units. Above that, the two circular tanks are the clarifiers. Off in the distance, you'll see a series of buildings. The one on the left, nearest to us, is full of pumps. The one to the right of that is the office with the lab. And there's two big blue tanks. And between those big blue tanks and this big building where the pumps are the headworks. Kind of small here, just to the right of this big pond. As we pan around through here, the green buildings are the green roofs. One is the press building where the biosolids are pressed, the water's removed, and then they're taken off and put on somebody's fields. All right. Now as we're going to fly over here towards these other buildings off in the distance, water after it's pulled out of the biodigestion units, it then goes into those clarifying tanks. Once the solids are removed, water is brought over here before being released into the North Fork of the Shenandoah River. It's passed through a UV light in this building with the green roof here, and then it's put into those little aeration units before being put out of the river. Water that's completed but can't be discharged yet gets put on fields like these as irrigation. All right, now you can see the press building over on the right, and the clarifying tanks again, and the biodigestion units, bioreactors. That's right, bioreactors. Here we're going to zoom in on those a little bit more closely so you can get an idea what's going on. There's some nice action. You'll see some bubbling up of water in there. That's aeration. That's where we're adding water to keep those bugs happy. Rotifers, ciliates of various stripes, all kinds of lovely bacteria and protists hanging out there, eating away, eating and reproducing. And as they do that, the health of our environment is being maintained. Because if this wastewater made it out into the river, we'd have big problems, bigger than we have today. All right, we have little round aeration things. You can see some algae growing in there. You can see some places where you can see biosolids grouping up there in the little clear areas. You can see the aeration happening. All right, moving around. So the technicians in the lab spend time coming out here and grabbing samples and testing things constantly. They're looking for chemical levels, they're looking for oxygen levels, and they're looking for the health of the community. That's right, they're taking care of an entire community of organisms. Some of those members of the community get retired, they get moved on over here to these clarifying tanks. At this point, they've done their job, they've done their business, and they are ready for retirement. What does retirement look like? Well, they get brought over here, they get settled out in these clarifying tanks, and those solids get pulled out, taken to the press building. The water moves on to the UV light. All right. Hope you enjoyed.